Sanwan Waslali, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to speak to you about Ukushela. One of my good friends is doing a master's in psychology, and her thesis is on masculinity and love. So that is the role of masculinity in love across different cultures, across different races, across different countries, locations, age groups, um, in just every other, facets that there is to love, or that contributes to it being different from, the other. And she's doing a focus group that will focus on discussing Ukushelwa, which is, in translated English, a way a man approaches a girl, how they strategize, their methods, and all the things that they, try and do to make sure that they get, in relationship with a female. I think one of the things that we discussed also was when she was doing her readings, because she does a lot of like readings, and we go after work, both of us, work. So afterwards, we normally, not all the time, like once in a while when things are really hectic and we need more support, we'll go to campus and we'll study together. And one of the papers she was reading was discussing how I think in India, they didn't do dating before. And so the guy's family would approach the girl's family. So it wouldn't actually be the parties involved that approach each other, or at least one party approaches the family of the other. No, it was, the families that were doing the conversations, and the initiating of the relationship. And I guess then in Zulu culture, before we used to have uku, where a guy approaches you, and then for you to say, you agree or not to be their girlfriend, they have to give you a beaded, bracelet, and that will signify that, they're saying yes to your proposal of being their girlfriend. So that's, it was like quite interesting, like having to hear all that, the difference is in how, people approach being in a relationship or being, in love. Yeah, so I'm gonna link down her link to her WhatsApp group. So if you are in Cape Town, because obviously, she wants to do it in person. So if you're in Cape Town and you identify as a man, you are plus 18 years old, you can definitely join, and discuss with other gents, the methods, strategies, and the ways in which you approach a girl, and how it has been like, being in a relationship with a woman, and all those things. Yeah, so I guess part of my video right now, obviously, I can't speak on behalf of men. I can only speak on my experience, which is what I wanted to like try and engage you guys on, because this is also one of the things that we discuss, and I discuss with my other friends as well. How I think for me over the years, how I've been shellaed, which is, to court, to be approached, has changed from, high school to varsity to, now as an employee, but also like being in different provinces also, brings in a big change in the way that people approach me. I think in high school, because I was the nerdy girl, people often found me intimidating. And so a lot of the guys would befriend me first, or get acquainted with me before they actually, pursue me, which back then I didn't understand. Only after, I guess I've been familiar with that individual and we've been friends, and I think, we're forming a genuine friendship. Only then they were like, oh, actually, I've always liked you. I just thought that, you were too intimidating for me to approach you just head on. Yeah, that was, high school environment. But outside of high school, um, guys generally approach you hard. Like, Zulu men are confident, in who they are, whether you accept the invitation or not, or the proposal or not. for them, it doesn't take away from them. It doesn't add to them. They still, themselves. So I know with them, they approach you hard. I mean hard. I mean, like, they put in full force, full effort. And then those who don't, will still approach you, softly or more gently, but consistently. And you get guys who just compliment you and they just like you, not because they actually want to have a relationship with you, or want to pursue anything with you, but they just, find you attractive, or they like certain characteristics about you, or certain aspects about you, that just, I don't know, that just entices them and they like you. And so they will, overflow you, overflood you with compliments and adorations and all this stuff. Now, as of, um, I guess, yeah. So in KZN, you get approached a lot. Here in Cape Town, you don't get approached as much. I think in my first 3 years being this side, I hardly was approached, actually. I think in a year, probably I'd be approached like 3 or 4 times, like a proper one. Not one where, someone is, being indirect or anything like that, which is they like so much here. Like, people are not upfront. People want to, like, slid hands, or get into a conversation with you, or like try get into a situation. Like, people are not upfront. Like, they're not gonna say what they want to do. They're gonna try hide behind, keyboards, would it be on their phone, or like give you subliminal, hints that they actually like you, which, for me, I was not used to that. So I was used to, if someone likes you, they're gonna tell you straight up front that, hey, this is me, and, I'd like to get it on with you. Also, here, people approach you for different things. People approach you for, okay, relationships, but also people approach you for situationships. People also approach you for F buddies. I think the first one that I had, when someone did that, I was livid. I was livid because I was like, what about me makes you think that I'm open to that idea, And then I was like questioning, is it because I have no sex appeal? I don't try to be sexy in any way. I think for the most part, I'm actually quite conservative. So I was really confused and so angry that this person looked at me and thought, like I would, be open to the idea. But after that one, I was like, "Ugh, it's just a Cape Town thing. Like, let me just, um, not get offended by it. Because I think more than often back home, it was a matter, even if someone wasn't genuinely into you, they will still approach you like, they want you to be their girlfriend and they're serious about you, even though they know that their intentions is not to have a solid relationship with you. I think that was for me, it was just like, okay, what's going on here? I think one of the major things that we discussed actually was how men here handle rejection. Um, it's the funniest thing ever. I think it puzzled me. um, it puzzled me because I was like, okay, this is weird. It's a pattern of behavior that I've, taken notice over the last couple of years. Obviously now, I said in the first years being Cape Town, I wasn't approached as much. Now I do get approached as much. Like, even, I don't know if it's, I don't know. I don't know what changed, but after COVID, just something happened. And like, you get sometimes guys, even in their cars, like sticking their tongue out, and or others winking at you, or some hooting at you, or even in grocery stores, I get approached, which is something that never happened to me before. A part of me feels like maybe it's because I'm more in touch with my feminine side now than I was before, whereas a bit tomboyish. I still am now. But I think more now I'm more in touch with my feminine side. So maybe I don't know if that contributed to that. But anyways, so what we were discussing was the pattern of behavior, right, that I've noticed. of the guys who you reject, right? The percentage of guys that you reject, how they react to, again, let me just say rejection, because I feel like that's being too harsh. That you decline their proposals. They either one, become very cold, right? Sorry, I'm doing something on my laptop, so I don't want it to shut down. So they either one, be very cold, right? Give you a cold shoulder. Even if someone was not in your space before, they will intentionally put themselves in your space, so that they're within, your your proximity, and like give you a cold shoulder and intentionally do it. Like you can see it's purposeful, The second thing that they do, is in some way, try to be revengeful towards you. I don't know if it's them acting out of you declined me, so I'm gonna try inflict the same emotions that I felt on you so that you feel them. I don't know if it's that. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Personally, I think it's a little bit petty. Not even little. I think it's petty. But yeah, that's also something I've seen, and I've just like, okay, like, am I supposed to like accept you? If I accept you, then I'm accepting everyone else. You can only accept one person at a time, obviously. And then the other is to, when they've approached you and they've put their hearts on the table, those who do, and then afterwards they'll be like, oh no, oh, you've declined them, and then they'll be like, oh no, I was joking. I didn't mean it. I was just trying to get to see, what you would say. And I'm just sitting there like, who are you fooling, bro? Who are you fooling? Like, come on, who are you fooling? Surely not me. I definitely know that you are genuine, but I guess you can't handle being said no to, I guess. And so you're trying to find a way to get an upper hand or some sort. I don't understand. But what I guess from this pattern of behavior, I've realized that man's ego, very fragile. Very fragile. Men are very sensitive. Men are very, like, fragile. They pretend like they are this hardcore, don't feel human beings, but they're actually very sensitive. More sensitive than us, I feel at times. And I think that, closing in your emotions and not expressing them, is the thing that makes them quite sensitive. And they don't realize it, actually. Whereas us, because we're so expressionate, it's like, I mean, we do get hurt, but not every small little thing gets to us, or at least to me. Yeah, it's just really interesting. Whereas I know, like, as I said back home, like, people, if they approach you, they still approach you even afterwards. After you've declined them, they will still pursue you. They will still either pursue you hard, as I said before, or they will, like, admire you from a distance, while still letting you know that, hey, I still like you, but I'm just not going to be, in your face, in your space, but just so you know that I still like you, I'm going to keep my distance. Which I think over time, sometimes it does help, because maybe you didn't see the person, kahle. And over time you start seeing them and you're like, oh, actually, you're quite cute. Or I like your personality. Yeah, because sometimes, like, you can't meet someone and approach them and expect them to, like, be open to you, for in that first time. I mean, for some people it does happen, what they call it love at first sight, where someone approaches you and immediately someone falls head over heels. But often than not, it doesn't happen like that. It's an overtime thing. People, work at it. And yeah, some people, like, don't pursue you still. They leave you. Some people, stop, like, they cease to pursue you. They stop. They don't try and be in your space. Like, they just leave you alone. If you've said no, they leave you alone. Then there are people who, they still leave you alone, but because maybe you guys are in a situation where you have to coexist. Maybe let's say like you still have to work with each other, or you're in the same school with them, or maybe you bump into them in the supermarkets because you stay within the same area. They are still able to be civil with one another. Like, but guys, like people just become cold. They become comedians, like it's a joke, or they become evil and try to be revengeful towards you, which I don't like. I'm still trying to figure out what causes that, you know. Um, and when I spoke to my other female friends about it, they were just like, "Oh, you too? Me too, girl." And then I spoke to like some of my guy friends, not all of them, but some of them. The other one was like, why do you care? Like, why do you care if they giving a cold shoulder? I'm like, it's not that I care, but I'm just saying it's as a pattern. It's not right. Why are you inviting yourself into my space? And then only to make me feel some type of way, or like intentionally um give me a cold shoulder, like why are you in my space? Like don't come to me then. And then the other one was like, no, it's their way of trying to detach from you, so that's because the more they spend time with you or being around you or speaking to you, interacting with you, it makes them, it makes their feelings grow even stronger. And so it's their way of, I guess, coping mechanism of trying to detach and trying to lessen, the feelings that they have for you, or make them vanish, I guess. And I was like, oh, okay, that one, it sort of makes sense, but it's also, angicilisekile ngaleyo mpendulo. That's been quite interesting. Like just hearing more about it. Hopefully, if you are a guy and you have some insights on why guys do this. I mean, maybe it's not even a Kaitlyn Kappa thing. Like maybe it's a maturity thing where maybe I guess the men now in my um age range behave this way, whereas obviously when I was back home I was a lot more younger. And also obviously the people who approach me would be sort of like in my same age group, even though sometimes you have those ones who are so old they could be your grandparents, and they would still approach you and you're just like mkhulu wenzani. But yeah, majority of the time it would be obviously people within your same age range. So I don't know if I can say it's a Cape Town to Kappa thing, that now these ones, are a little more revengeful, more cold, whereas back home it wasn't, or it's maybe an age thing where before when people were younger, they didn't really care much about being declined or being rejected, whereas now people do. Maybe they are more into, serious relationships, and so on and so forth. Yes, it'll be interesting to hear you guys' experiences about girls, about Ukushela, your experiences of Ukushela. And guys, your experiences of Ukushela Ntombazane and how maybe that has also like changed over the years, and how being in different places that's like made things maybe more easier or more difficult for you, or the influence of your friends or social media, how that has affected the way that you approach a girl. I know with my other friend's friend, like the way that they approached her was so cute. Like I was like, oh, that's what guys would do. This is so nice. He did like a whole presentation, and I was like, what? An entire presentation giving you a whole SWOT analysis of like, if you date me, this is what's gonna happen. I was like, that is so cute. Like that is so cute. Like it's so well thought out. I think guys miss that point when they approach us. They think we want all these extravagant things. By extravagant, I mean like, how guys nowadays think that all girls want expensive gifts and extra stuff, like extraordinary things. Sometimes that is not the most important thing. And some other guys, like I know with me, they will do things like love bombing. And you get these messages from someone telling you that you are the sun in their lives, like
the God, like, you know, those messages where you know that this is too much. This is too much for someone who's just met me. I am the air that you breathe. There's no way, guys. There's no way I can have that effect on you when you've just met me. Like, it's impossible.
And I mean, maybe some girls do want that, but some of us like are very simple. Like just knowing that you put thought and effort into coming to me and you are very genuine about it, like being thoughtful, knowing that like that takes the cake. Um, like it literally gives you access to us because now we're thinking, oh, he thinks about me. He's trying to understand who I am so that he knows what he's getting himself into. Because you don't want to get in a relationship with someone and you inside and you're just like, oh, actually, it's not as rosy as it is on the inside. Because I mean, women are beautiful, guys. We all pretty. But all of us are different, and obviously our experiences have also shaped, the women that we've become now. And so when you get inside, you're gonna have to unravel the different layers that come, with us and being the people that we are now. Yeah, I think I'm rambling now. Anyways, if you're interested, you're a guy, you're above the age of 18, and you are in Cape Town and you'd like to be part of the focus group, I'll definitely drop the link in my comment section and my description for you to join the WhatsApp group, and then she will give you more info, my friend that is doing her masters, on what's happening, the details, and how to go on about joining the focus group. I think the next one, she done one on Friday. It was very successful. So happy for her. And the next one will be, I think, this coming Friday. So that's why I needed to do this video now, because I kept on saying to her, I'm gonna do it since last week, and I hadn't had the time to do it because I've been, it's been a hectic ride, this week. But yeah, hopefully you guys get to join in on the one that's coming this coming Friday. Hopefully I upload this video on Monday, and yeah, things go well. Interested to hear what you guys have to say. Bye, guys. Thank you for listening to me rambling.